card cloning it's become a topical issue of late, say maybe over the last 3 or 4 weeks, but actually it's not that topical. So if you go back about 5, maybe even 7 years ago, some of the earlier versions of the MyFair smart card were actually hacked by some students in Holland, with a little bit of time on the hand and a supercomputer that wasn't theirs that they could borrow, but they did manage to hack the MyFair Classic card, and in response to that, the MyFair Plus and DSi and using 128-bit encryption technology was brought to bear within the smart card world. But people have also recently been talking about the cloning of proximity cards. So if you look at access control systems or identity management systems across the world, the predominant technology that's used, that is in use, is the 125 kilohertz EM proximity card technology. And there's been a lot of stuff put out onto YouTube and the internet of cloning devices that you can buy from China. You'll be able to buy a blank card, steal someone's card, use this cloning device to take the card number, and then download that onto the blank card. Now that sort of predisposes the fact that people to do that, they actually need to get hold of your copy of your card. So within organisations you need to be aware of cloning, but I think also organisations need to be aware, and people that use proximity cards, that actually these things are quite valuable. They're like a set of keys to your house, and you don't want them to be lying around. You don't want to leave them lying around, because people, if they do want to get up to nefarious activities, can steal your card, clone it while you're in a meeting if you leave it at your desk, and you wouldn't be any the wiser when you got back. So it is important that people look after the cards that they've got. But it is quite easy to clone cards these days. And as well as stuff that's come out recently from some other access control manufacturers, and as I said, the postings that you have on YouTube, actually some of our end users are now becoming more aware. Companies, especially larger organisations involved with critical national infrastructure, they're becoming aware of what's what's out there in the internet, and companies asking us, what should we do about it? Do we need to throw all our prox cards away? Well, not necessarily. You need to be aware that there is a risk. If you're aware of that risk, then you can do something about it. So the most important thing to do is be aware. And be aware that yes, there is a risk, and be aware that you need to tell people, look after these cards. As I've said, people, if they want to get up to no good, they will get up to no good. So that's if you've got an existing population of proximity cards out there. And then there are other things you can use as well. There are organisations now that actually will manufacture or do sell card carrying credentials or carriers that will prevent cards being sniffed, or little wallets that you can put your cards in. And people are selling that not just for access control cards, but to prevent your credit cards being sniffed, that sort of thing. So people just need to be aware that there are some people out there that want to do you harm, and want to live life in a much easier way without, and they will try and do things. So it's important for organisations to put policies in place to prevent that. But then if an organisation is thinking about adopting card technology for the first time, then our recommendation will be, well, actually, be aware that proximity cards are the easiest ones to clone, but also MyFair serial cards, so they're just reading the serial number on the chip. they are equally, relatively easy to clone with these cloning devices that you can buy off Amazon, what have you. So with a new site, we'd always recommend going to either MyFair Plus, SL1 or SL3, or going to MyFair Desfire, where you're actually encrypting a part of the chip with the access control number in. So not only do you have to try and hack the card, you have to try and hack the number that protects that sector on the card. So you've got a dual level of protection there. So anything that organisations can do to make it more difficult for people to be naughty, the better off we'll be.